So to prepare for this episode, I've been researching all these AI sales agent products, and none of them actually allow me to talk to their AI salespeople. Like I had to book with a real human being to be able to buy this AI sales product, and I wasn't able to talk to any of them. I feel like they're also like they probably tried it, but they still didn't find that AI is ready yet. But if you think about it, they are selling a product that doesn't work. So that's also kind of discouraging.
Hi, my name is Dimitri Panici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents Podcast, brought to you by Jotform, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Ida Tank. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the AI Agents Podcast, where we talk about everything AI agents. How you doing, Ida?
I'm doing great. It's great. It's another episode, and we are talking about sales.
Yeah, we're talking about sales. Something that matters, I'm sure, to a lot of you listening. There's a myriad of different use cases that you can use AI agents for. But a lot of you are probably wondering, hey, I'm building my company. I'm even starting my company. Can I just have AI agents sell for me? Replace the real salespeople? And we're going to get into that to start the episode and talk about some interesting use cases with AI agents. But I don't know. What do you think about that question? Can AI agents replace salespeople?
I don't think we are there yet. And it seems to me that it's just real human connection is kind of different. The AI agents they're also still making some mistakes. And I think being a good salesperson has like so many different qualities that just giving the right answer is not enough. You have to have those qualities, like building a relationship, like really building trust, things like that. So I think we are still not there. And I've been looking at the news recently, like Mark Bainoff seems to be agreeing with this, because he said that they're going to be hiring like over 1,000 salespeople, like 1,000 to 2,000 salespeople to sell agent force. So
what are AI agents supposed to do? What's the definition of an agent again, Heideken? Is it supposed to do work for you or something?
Yeah, I mean, agent force, it seems to me that like he also agrees that like it's not there yet. Like as a salesperson, AI agents cannot replace salespeople. But what he's saying is that we are going to get there in a few years, and I agree with him. But during this time, there are a lot of use cases where AI agents are actually useful. And like the best one is customer service, because the AI agents, and in our experience, so we've been building the AI agents product for the last 1.5 years.
Yeah.
So I have also experience, and I've seen the quality gone up recently with our like it's some of it is our doing, some of it is as actually the LLMs getting better, the underlying AI getting better, but also we learned how to make really the AI agents respond well, provide good answers. So customer support seems to be a case where AI agents are almost there. It's not completely there. And if you look at products like Intercom and Zendesk, they are also like they're talking about how they are AI first, but they're not saying like AI. They are not going AI all. They are going AI first, but then they're seeing like AI can handle like 80% of the customer support, but then that remaining the tough 20% still requires human involvement. So I think we are getting there, but still far away. Yeah. What do you think?
What are your thoughts on? I mean, for me, I think it's pretty funny if someone who is very much behind AI agents, rather than taking the current resources they have because they think the AI agents will be so efficient that they're just like hiring 2,000 people. To me, that's a bit of an indication in itself of, well, clearly it's not ready to do a lot of work for us if it's not ready to do a lot of work for Salesforce. Um, I think AI agents are awesome in the sense that they can do a lot of tasks for you that would take you some work. There's a lot of little things here and there, but for me, another big indicator, which you'll get into, which is funny, as to whether a salesperson is capable of being replaced by an AI agent would be if they can handle inbound for a product, like a SaaS product. And for those of you that are unaware, a lot of these SaaS products that exist or sales oriented software, you have to usually book a call in order to try out the product and then get access to the product because you go through their sales cycle. And Idekin, you were trying to sign up to a product that was supposed to help with sales before, and what happened? Were you able to
It
talk to an
wasn't
AI
actually a
agent
single
or what?
product. It was like several products. So to prepare
Oh,
for this
okay.
episode, I've been
Uh
researching all
huh.
these AI sales agent products,
Yes.
and none of them
Yes.
actually allow me to talk to their AI salespeople. Like I had to book with a real human being to be able to buy
Yeah.
this AI sales product, and I
That's
wasn't able to
weird.
talk to them. I have I have some video. I have a video, and I think it's pretty cool. I feel like they're also like they probably tried it, but they still didn't find that AI is ready yet. But if you think about it, they are selling a product that doesn't work. So that's also kind of discouraging.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, was there anything in any of these sales processes that you felt like, because obviously when you're trying to use a product like this, you're actively in the sales pipeline when you're trying to get on the product, correct? Was there anything you felt like was augmented by AI even in this product outside of, or actually, I'm not going to say outside of, just at all?
No, it was all like
Well, that's a
regular,
that's a red flag.
the old way, no AI involved. Just a regular web page, regular sales copy. There was no AI involved.
But
Um,
even in the sign up process, there was no like prompt sequence of questions that was clearly going into a chatbot or something for like later use. No,
That's
nothing.
the funny part. I couldn't even like sign up for them because like they required me talking to a human being to even try the product. There was one
Yeah.
that actually sounded like I was gonna be able to try for it. Actually, said try for free, and I was
Oh.
excited that I was able to try it and show a live demo today. But then once I actually signed up, it actually asked me to give a credit card number so that like at the end of the trial they can charge me automatically, pay me sometime.
Doesn't
But
sound very
yeah,
free. Yeah. That's funny. Okay.
yeah, that's
Well,
funny part. But I think we are gonna get there. I think it needs time. But I feel like there are cases where the AI agents are still gonna be useful in sales, but not as a salesperson. Um,
yes, that's very good point.
yeah, and the thing is, most people most buyers are actually already like made a decision to buy a product by the time they speak to a salesperson. Like they do
Mm.
their own research. They maybe like they look at your website. Maybe they watch YouTube reviews. Maybe they go to review sites like G2. So they already made their decisions. They just want to buy it and then they have to talk to a salesperson. So but if you think about it, all these people, when they are researching these products, they are actually like reviewing all these multiple products, right? And and but they are not involved. They are not as involved as much to kind of take the time to like schedule a meeting for next week to talk to a salesperson. They're just discovering. They're just researching, and if you have a chatbot on your website, that's like AI powered chatbot, and that can actually answer the questions people have, you are gonna be ahead of your competition. Because like if you can provide a live support to everyone that visit your website 24/7,
Yeah.
that's perfect. Like do that, right? But I
Yes.
doubt that you can do that. No one is like almost no one is able to do that. But AI agents as a chatbot is actually very possible. Like it's just very easy to do. And the reason I've seen this is because like I'm actually like I'm watching all these user interviews of people who use Jotform AI, the beta version. Uh, we are also watching all these like conversations happening and how people use their AI agents uh, on wherever they want to use. And we are seeing huge number of people using Jotform AI agents for pre-sales as a chatbot on their website. They're basically training
Mm.
their AI agent. They are kind of testing it, and our AI agent is actually be able to like ask questions as well, like just increase the training knowledge, and they prepare it, they put it on their website, and they're getting like so many people actually use this to ask questions, and we are seeing that. So when we look at those like people who we retain, like most of them actually have these use cases. They put it on their website, and people actually use and have conversations. And so this seems to be like the top use case for Jotform. Provide customer service or pre-sales questions, answers to customers that visit their website. And another great benefit of this is we have seen this benefit ourselves. Like we've been putting these AI agents as a chatbot on our website on various pages,
Sure.
and we have been getting like so much feedback. Because here's the great thing, right? You have a website, people come to that website, they like maybe 1,000 people visit your website every day or every week or
Sure.
every month, but you have no idea what's going on, right? Maybe you can put something like full story to watch them, but you still have no idea what's going on. But if you put this AI chatbot on it, like some small percentage of users will actually click on it and ask questions. That's actually a great way to do like
Yeah.
user research. Like you can actually find out like what people are confused about, what kind of questions they have, like what's confusing people on your website. And it's even great for like advertisements. So we have been trying different ad networks, and like we found this ad network that seems to be generating like so much engagement, and we were so excited about that. It ended badly, so I don't want to give their name. But so
Hmm.
basically, and like we were so excited, we decided, okay, we're gonna scale it, we're gonna increase our budget. But what we thought that let's put a chatbot on the page where we were sending these ads.
Sure.
And then what we found was like the chatbot, like people were actually adding all these gibberish stuff. I think like they were bringing lots of like kids from like mobile phones or something, like or they were bringing bots or something. Like just there was also engagement, but the engagement
Yeah.
didn't really matter. So and then like just watching those chat conversations where like the people weren't like having regular conversation actually gave
Yeah.
us insight that even though they were generating conversations, because they were using these mobile phones and because probably all these kids were just clicking everything like randomly and just
Yeah.
trying to get out, like maybe even people trying struggling to get out of the like the where they landed. There was also engagement. There was also clicks. Like they were like browsing Jot for trying to escape it, and then we
Huh.
discovered that okay, this advert doesn't work, and we were able to discover that because like we just read those conversations with the AI agent and the visitors, and if you actually enable your AI agent to pop up automatically, you'll get
Hmm.
much more percentage of people actually
Using
doing
it.
conversation. So this is what we have been learning. So Jotform AI agents are coming closer. Like we are going to launch it in February, but we are learning so much from it as well. Like and then it's going to be a great product for people who need like who have a website, who need AI agent as a chatbot that can actually give good answers. Like, it can actually, we can actually, it can browse your website, learn all the knowledge, and just answer questions. And it helps a lot to, as a pre-sales. It's a great tool to increase your sales.
Interesting. Okay. Speaking of pre-sales, I guess just with Jotform AI, I had a curious thought before we dive into some use cases here. You guys are a form company. Have you at all thought about the concept of pre-sales where you're familiar with like people filling out like a lead form and then trying to book a call, both of which are very capable within Jotform. I feel like with like a conversation would make a lot of sense for that AI agent to like take down the notes of the person and use it as sort of an intake form. And then after they book the call, like it could be really good for like an entry level option for a CRM. Because on my own website right now, like if I want to book a call, it's like, okay, they have to go through a form and then they have to book a call in an embedded like scheduling software past that. But with you guys, you can just kind of have them talk to the bot and then it would lead into a sales opportunity on a call, right? Or am I?
We actually see that a lot. So at Chatform,
Yeah.
lead generation forms are actually pretty big. People use that.
Yeah.
Like they will just,
Yeah.
they will offer these like white papers, free things, free giveaways, lots of things to create leads.
Yeah.
It's very popular with forms. We are actually seeing that with AI agent as well. The great thing about AI agent is like because it's a conversation, someone coming in for questions and getting their questions answered, you can actually kind of direct them towards like generating a lead from them. Like just you can ask their name and email, maybe after they after their questions, or maybe you can offer them things. So actually, the AI agents product allows that allows you to kind of like build those actions so that like just you can actually kind of direct them towards being a lead for your product after they ask a question. And someone just browsing your website silently is very unlikely to like fill out a form or contact you. But once they get engaged with a conversational AI agent and answer, get their answers for their questions, whatever questions maybe they have some blocker questions. And if the AI agent can actually solve those questions, solve those problems on their heads, then they're going to be more likely to become a lead and buy your product or service.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I think that kind of gives us a good stopping point or jumping point, I should say, to go into the first use case of a product that you did have a chance to sign up for after the process that it took. Sales Closer AI, correct?
It's actually, yeah. Let me share my screen. So actually, I wasn't able to. I wasn't able to
Oh,
create an
okay.
account or a real conversation with the AI, but I was able to actually like. So what was really cool and unique about this product is it can actually do Zoom calls and it can actually share screens and
At this stage, would you prefer a different incentive for capturing potential leads on your funky sock website in Vancouver, especially targeting parents and friends for gift purchases?
Yeah, so I don't know. We're not huge on giveaways. We think it kind of cheapens the brand.
I completely understand your concern about maintaining the integrity of your brand image. We can definitely explore alternatives.
this is also cool. It's actually showing an image or presentation, and it's actually like scrolling there as well, and describing something while
Yeah.
sharing a screen. I think it's great.
Very cool.
Strategies
There's not a
that
lot
resonate
of.
with your brand values.
When it's time to close it,
Yeah,
Very interesting. There's not a lot of talking in AI customer facing products right now that aren't like enterprise, like or no, I don't want to say enterprise, but that aren't like huge companies like ChatGPT and so forth. So that's surprising.
I thought this was really cool. I was really surprised that I couldn't just do that. Like I couldn't just talk to the Zoom AI agents and just talk to it and do a demo. It didn't allow me to do that, but I think it's really cool because it's like, speaking to an AI agent is amazing because it's just much faster. Like I use ChatGPT's mobile app, the voice mode a lot. My kids use it a lot when they're doing homework or when I'm just trying to come up with, ideas, brainstorm. It's just much faster than like just type into ChatGPT. And on top of that, it can actually also show me like pictures. It can show me, it can browse the website. I think it was really cool. So I think it's going to be amazing when we get to that. Like when we visit a website and when we can, instead of just browsing the website, if you can just talk to an AI agent, ask it question, and if it could show the demo of the product, it could demo the product. It could just just answer my questions with maybe screenshots or like real live demos of the product. I think it's going to be amazing. It's just going to make it much more easier. Like even it's great for sales, pre-sales. It's also great for customer support because like I ask it like, how do I do this, and it can actually
Yeah,
like just do it and show it on the browser, and it's much better than a screenshot to see it live.
I agree. I think that's something that's going to be important in the future with a lot of these AI agent products for sales. Because I, for one, don't really know a lot of people who would be helped out or like lessened in their questions about a product without like a real demo of something or like an interaction of some sort. If they're looking to like have an interaction with a salesperson, I don't think it's going to be solved by, glorified like knowledge base help doc bot, so to say, because they, like you were saying earlier, people do their own research and that kind of stuff. So if they're looking for like a human-ish touch point, they're probably going to want to have, I think that conversation made more sense than how I would envision they are doing it now for a lot of these sales products, because you can just talk to, or not talk to, but you can do your own research. Like you can look up all these different products on your own and scroll through documents or even get summarized documents from ChatGPT or whatever it is about a product. So I think that's really great because for me, I'm trying to see video and hear audio. That's just kind of how I learn. So
If you think about it, ultimately, it doesn't even like it wouldn't be even a demo. It would actually be implementation. Um,
yeah,
so you go to the website and you start talking to this AI agent over Zoom, and then you ask it like, okay, I need to do this, and then that I need to do that, and I need to be able to do those things, right? You describe that,
hmm,
and it actually do really like just shares its screen and shows you how to do all those things. Like just it can actually show you like exactly how to do whatever you need, not just like tell you like show you screenshots or tell you how to accomplish things, just show you how to do whatever your specific solution. It can actually provide a specific solution to you right there, and then you would be like just ready to buy the product. Yeah, so I feel like AI agents, they may not be able to replace salespeople right now, but they have their own advantages. The biggest advantage is they're available 24/7. They don't get tired. They don't take vacations. Like your best salesperson, every AI agent you have is actually your best salesperson, right? You don't have like your best salesperson or your worst salesperson. Every salesperson you have is actually the best salesperson. So it has like so many advantages if you think about that. But still, we are still not there. But I feel like we are going to get there in a year or two.
yeah, I agree. And I actually have a specific use case for my own company that was kind of difficult. So I'm sure you're familiar with sales calls. A lot of information's going around. A lot of information's happening. And what I usually noticed was if I tasked somebody who wasn't as like aware of how the business worked or wasn't as sharp like listening to in real time conversation, to be quite frank, if I tasked them with something on like sales notes and like action item follow-ups for like sales calls, it would just be one of those things where I was wishing I had done it myself. But with AI, there's a specific example I'm going to show you guys real quick. That is pretty cool. So my experience with sales has always been sell, focus on the call, try to get as many notes as I can. I deal with content a lot, so there's a lot of like small things floating around in the conversation where we'll make an agreement on, okay, let's talk about XYZ topic for a future piece of content. You know, like let's say, for example, working with Jotform, we actually make videos with you guys, obviously. So, for example, I'll have a conversation with someone on Idekin's team, and we'll say, okay, let's make a video about, you know, you have an AI form builder, for example. Okay, let's make a video about that. Let's make a video about this integration and this integration and this integration. In all intents and purposes, like, even though we already have a relationship, it is sort of like pseudo sales because I have to continuously like sell getting more content out. But what's annoying is always having to take that content idea, right, and end up putting it into my system in like my Notion databases and whatnot. So what I've managed to do is actually train an AI agent, which is very cool. An AI agent on how to take the notes from this conversation that I've had, right? And that conversation then is really useful for me because there's a bunch of different notes taken. There's context surrounding the different bullet points on what content we're supposed to make. And this obviously works the exact same for things like, what's it called? For things like introductory sales calls, right? We have content ideas that come up, and we also have like follow-ups and action items that come up. So I'm going to pop up and show you really quick some cool ways that I've actually utilized this setup, because if you're really focused on the conversation in sales, it usually, from my perspective, goes a little bit better than if you're trying to like multitask and type at the same time. So I figured I'd show you this. This is really cool. All you need to do this, by the way, if anyone is wondering how I made this happen, is a product that has the ability to transcribe your calls. So I'll share my screen real quick and I'll bring up some of the products right here. But there's a list of them. There's the one that I use currently is called grain.com, which is a really cool product. So I have some like syncs that pop up here with some different clients, right? And all of these meetings are essentially recordings that I've had. And all of these recordings, for example, have transcripts. And those transcripts will then be able to be connected to like an API, for example. So let's pretend I go to Zapier, and Zapier has an automation option for, let's pull it up. Zapier is doing this weird thing. Okay, Grain. I don't know what the heck's going on with my Zapier right now. Okay, so Grain. What it does is it takes this recording, it does a little shortened URL, it finds the Google Calendar event that aligns with it, and I give it a little ChatGPT prompt to have it create a database item and then send a webhook to another automation that I have set up in make.com. For those of you that are unaware, Zapier is good for your little like step-by-step basic automations, but if you want to do like more advanced stuff, I usually recommend make.com. But I need Zapier because sometimes it has more API capabilities. And
it's cool that you're using both Zapier and Make at the same time. Yeah.
I very much enjoy both of them. I then send a webhook.
Do you have a favorite one? Like
I have to say make.com. Zapier, to be quite frank's pricing model is a little bit ridiculous if you're doing advanced automation. Like there's just too much cost per automation step, so to say.
Yeah.
Like you get like 2,000 per month for like $50, but something similar to that, you can get like 200,000 or 150,000 in make.com. So it's like not even comparable. So for example, after this is done, I send the transcript over to make.com, and then I'll just pull it up real quick. The make.com automation that I have is really great. So what this does is I utilize ChatGPT, and let's go to Grain. Okay. And what this does, long story short, is I use ChatGPT to have it create some to take the analysis or take the transcript and analyze it based on a bunch of predefined terminology. I explain to it what's a content idea. I explain to it what's an action item, right?
You actually built your
Based
own
off
agent. This is an
Yeah,
agent.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I built my own agent because for me, it's very specific. What's a content idea? A content idea on a sales call is we have a defined timeline, topic, and agreed upon situation between myself and a client. And if that's agreed on, it needs to get added to the content ideas. If it's not agreed on, then we don't really need to add it. And also, sometimes there's administrative stuff like, hey, I'm going to send you this invoice, or hey, I'm going to try to give you another proposal for new services. That's not a content idea. That's just like an action item that you have to like do manual work for. So I have a ChatGPT parser for ideas. I turned it into JSON structure so that then this essentially will make it so that if there's multiple ideas, I can spread it out into multiple instances. And this create content ideas module, what it does is in Notion, you see all these ideas right here. Oh, it says like this meeting ideas, right? After the call was finished and this automation ran, all 5 of the ideas from the call that were long form video ideas were added into my Notion database, and it was synced to the client and the specific call, and it had a description of the content that was discussed, the potential timeline, and then any resources that were mentioned. Now, for those of you that are probably unaware, if I have, like 15 of these calls a month, we're capturing like 5 ideas per. I mean, that's, what is that, 75 ideas, of content that essentially...
What I really like about this is that, like, by the time you're out of that meeting, right, your checklist is ready for you to like take actions on. Like, just I don't know how long this takes, but
exactly.
Like, just you don't have to worry about it. Like, just you don't have to like worry about taking notes or anything. Just you have a checklist ready for you, ready waiting for you, and I was wondering why, like, just why didn't you just use Grain? Is it not enough? But is the goal be able to like create those checklist items on Notion, and the Grain cannot do that? Is that why you had
multiple different things here? So good question. Why did I not use Grain? Is because A, it doesn't have any connection to Notion. B, and as you alluded to, I wanted in Notion. B, a lot of products like this will have summaries that aren't agent-like, right? So let me explain what that means. Say, for example, I'm working with a company, say, example, you're a company like me who has a specific type of thing you need to capture based on the context of your type of sales calls. Content ideas are not going to be a universally defined term, right? My term for content ideas is very specific relative to what ChatGPT or Grain using its summary feature might think. So what I had to do is I had to give it an understanding of, okay, this is what's important, not what you think by default in your predefined LLM training. So Grain has a summary feature, but it was not useful in the same way, you know? Because what really matters to me is, can I get these 5 pieces of content, you know, and the ideas, and then moving forward with that, I can literally press this button called add to content calendar, and it'll add it to the client's content calendar. Like this makes it so that I don't have to capture the content after the call. I don't have to manually click to get it on my content calendar for the client. This is basically automating 99% of the sales process. I boiled it down to a button click.
I think it's amazing. It's a great sales tool for sales calls. Like just it's an amazing tool. I think you should just make a video about that. Just describing from start to end, maybe just like a tutorial. Maybe we can do an episode on that on AI agents.
Yeah.
Just because I did that make very simple make automation, like the research
Yeah.
lab episode. So this is much more advanced, much cooler example to build your own custom AI agent, and it's really useful if you are a salesperson. And if you are actually doing projects, if you're a service like an agency, this is a very useful tool that might be useful for lots of people. And it's a great example to build in custom AI agents to help you with your workflows.
Yeah, 100%. I think sales is in a position right now where, like we were saying earlier, it can do some aspects of the sales conversation. I had to sell. I had to think of things to upsell, that kind of stuff. But what this was able to do is it was able to aggregate text information. If anybody works in content, they know it's sort of like an in and out business. Ideas go in, content gets pushed out, and then that kind of maximizes revenue on a recurring scale. And an issue I was running into, to be frank, was that I had somebody who was attempting to do this by themselves, and they were doing it not as well as I would have liked. And I thought about it. As the company grows, you have a scalability problem with everything, right? However, with this, I'm like, okay, well, technically, wouldn't I just be able to train a bot on like what context constitutes an idea? Okay, and if I gave them the list of information, they'd be able to figure that out. Okay, so let me just give it to
the
them.
ultimate duct tape. You can just build
Correct.
your own products on the fly.
Yeah.
Just tell AI to
Yeah.
listen, and we'll do it.
Yeah. So, and this is a very basic version. You know, like obviously it doesn't look like it, but that's using ChatGPT as a module. There's now these agents, which we'll talk about in future episodes, hopefully, that you can build in the API. Like there's a product called Dumpling AI I've been working with. That's been pretty cool. So another use case I can show real quick is I have all these agents made, and they have all this great context that is added to them, and they have basic instructions. Like for example, I get a lot of sponsored requests on my YouTube channel, and what I did, which is another automation thing, I'm gonna be very frank here. I'm in a position where I'm early in business. Hiring people is obviously a concern, but not only is hiring people a concern, training is a concern, and consistency of parameters is a concern. So I make a lot of systems. Unfortunately, a lot of like non-high skilled labor fulfillment leads to lack of following of systems. So what is an AI going to do though? If you train it, it's going to do what you tell it to do, which is kind of its superpower and its issue. It's not as creative, but it can definitely help you out. So what I made here is I made an AI agent using Dumpling AI, where I gave it a bunch of instructions that then is attached to the LLM. So you've probably sponsored some content on YouTube at Jotform. I get a lot of content that doesn't fit my brand. You know, like we have like productivity apps that I talk about on my YouTube channel. I'll get the random sales app. I'll get your random physical product I don't want to sell. And what I basically kept having to train somebody who would manage this inbox was, okay, what is an acceptable sponsor, right? And what I noticed over time was they would get it right, but it was kind of like a waste of time because it was just kind of like if-then logic. If it's a personal productivity app, it's probably going to be a sponsor. If it's not a personal productivity app, maybe we can cross-sell our content services. As you can see, cross-sell. If it's a physical product or it's clearly bad grammar, suspicious links, obviously the name doesn't match the person in the email, or the URL the domain doesn't work, it's spam. And if we get other random stuff, it's miscellaneous. So what did I do? I trained an AI on this, and I made an automation. You'll be like, what? Another one? I trained it automation on Dumpling AI. Hello. So Dumpling AI is the product again. And what this does is as emails come in, I gave it multiple different step-by-step prompts. I did like this first one, which basically analyzes, well, first of all, I put a filter here to prevent anything from coming through if it's in a thread, because that would kind of indicate that it's not a new conversation. Only things that aren't in a thread are going to be a new conversation.
You have like this separate inbox for sponsorship related emails that are coming in, right? And I see that it's hello at RP.
Yeah,
like you
so
have
my
different inbox,
company,
and you share that inbox with Dumpling, right?
Correct. No, I shared it with make.com.
Oh,
and
make.com.
then
Okay.
This is what I guess I would say. Every single use case with AI agents and automation is if there is a significant amount of text, it can probably solve your problem if you know what you're doing with like JSON and other API endpoints and adding different steps like adding it to Notion and stuff, or sending messages on Slack. So first step, is it in a thread or not? Obviously, anything in a thread would be a part of the same, conversation. Then I put a little test for, is the email a new inquiry? If it's a new inquiry and it's yes by this predefined, prompt, then we can start analyzing the new inquiry. Is it literally just spam? Now, what would spam mean? Someone sending us sketchy stuff. I don't want to deal with that. I actually have it then categorize it as spam or not spam. If it is spam, I have an autoresponder set up to just be like, all right, not interested. And I mark it as red. I set this up in all of my personal email inboxes. This type of framework. Last week, my email is so much less cluttered. It is crazy. And then I talked about those different categorizations that I went over here. Like, is it a fit for my YouTube channel? Is it a potential cross-sell? Or is it miscellaneous or spam, right? And then I have it analyze the text again. So we've already determined whether it's general, like, not safe spam, or if it's like a new opportunity that someone's trying to sell me a sponsorship. And then I go through step by step. I categorize it, name again, and you'll see if it's a direct channel fit, it sends me a message in Slack giving me the link of the product. And this is pretty cool. I'm going to open up my Slack, so let me hide it for a second. This is very cool. You're going to be like, what? If I know how webhooks work, there's a very fun functionality with this, where basically, if you're ever interested in working on Slack as a big part of your workflows, you can do something called a, what's the name? Like a webhook push. So for example, I get asked by this sponsorship bot with a very simple question. You're going to be like, okay, really? This is it? I get asked with a very simple question. Right here. There's this product called Netrix. So basically, that bot analyzed, is this either a cross-sell opportunity, or is it a direct fit with my YouTube channel? So I don't want to have any bias as to what they're offering. I simply want to know whether I'd be interested in having them on my YouTube channel. If I click on this, it's a cybersecurity product, right? It's cool. What I did was I added a function where if I press yes, it sends the person in my inbox my templated reply that I would like to try to sponsor work with them. If I press no, it sends them another email that says, I don't think the sponsorships opportunity is going to work, but hey, we have some services we offer too if you want to get on a call and chat with me. So I took hours of work a week from the person managing this inbox on my team, and I limited it to they don't have to parse through new inquiries because the AI has done a great job of parsing through it. And I literally press yes or press no in a Slack channel. And that's it.
I love it. I love it. It's you basically turn your workflow into like much more easily. Like you're using Slack and just making your workflow just very quick, and you don't have to worry about it. Like just and also you're not losing opportunities because you are not checking your email or you got busy. It's waiting there on your Slack, and just finding all those opportunities. I think it's great.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I don't think many people are aware of it conceptually, and that's totally okay. I've tried to explain this to people before. AI is going to be amazing. I've gotten really good at understanding how I think automation works a long time ago. It is literally just if-then logic. And a lot of people struggle in life and in business and in work to fundamentally understand systems and parameter-based thinking. And this is a prime example of how somebody would probably tell me up front, an AI could not manage your inbox for sponsorship inquiries. That's not true. It's simply not. If you have a large set of text that you train it on, and you have a large set of text that you're receiving, it will be able to do it to 90% to 99% efficacy. And if you're telling me that someone that isn't you can do something to 90 to 9 can do something to 100% efficacy, that's awesome. That's great. Tell me now, then follow up and tell me at scale and then at cost, is that worth the 5% efficacy gain? I don't think most people can make a real justification for that for what I'm working with here, right? Like this is going to not take the person 10 hours a month now. This only costs me like $1 a month to have this set up. So yeah.
Exactly. Like it's like you can accomplish much more because you have all these AI agents. Like you're building all these AI agents, and they are able to accomplish things for you. To you, because you take time, you are able to actually like really use your time for much more higher quality tasks like that. And also because all these tasks are automated, you're not kind of getting tired, and then like just if you think about it, like if you're just doing all these kind of stuff all the time, you're kind of getting tired and you have no time for like the big stuff. And I actually wrote a book about this, automate your busy work. And it's about like save time so that you can save your brain. That was actually the subtitle of the book, save your brain for the big stuff. And this is a great example to that, and I love it. And I feel like the most important part here was actually that prompt. You had that prompt, like a really long prompt, and I guess it had to be that long because it's just it allows you to. That's where you actually do the selection. So instead of doing that selection, that filtering every time you yourself, you actually turned that into a prompt, and you gave it to ChatGPT, OpenAI, and OpenAI is able to like use that prompt to make that selection. And every time, but if you see something, fall through the cracks, if you see an entry that shouldn't be there in your Slack, you can always go back to that Slack and then give it more information, improve your prompt so that it gets better and better over time. And if it misses, and the great thing is like you can always review your emails and you can see, okay, this system is actually working great. And then you can always debug if there's a problem. The email is not lost. It's always there. And I
Yes,
love this
exactly.
as well. Yeah. Yeah.
And for higher stakes things, you can add human in the loop functions. Like that what I just showed you with that like yes or no option is a human in the loop function. Because I didn't really want to, for stuff that's obviously spam, I really can filter that out. But I wanted to make sure that I don't auto say yes, right? I don't want to auto say yes or no to sponsorship opportunities. So I'd rather it auto say no to clear spam. But for the other stuff, there's a human in the loop where I can just check really quick and then say yes or say no. To be quite frank, like, it's a concern. I get that, but there's a funny presupposition, right? So most of our thinking works off of baseline understandings and preconceived notions, right? The presupposition that me setting up this framework will not be able to accomplish the task without a human in the loop might be correct. However, that doesn't mean the problem with that presupposition is that it's almost implying that in perpetuity, it will be an issue. When if we don't have short-term memory loss, which I know you don't, 1.5 years ago, ChatGPT 3.0 took 2 minutes to output a paragraph of text at, 60%, 50% of the capability now of like O1 can tell you how to write code in 20 seconds. So like, let's be real, it's going to get better. So you should probably set up the system in preparation for it to be able to do whatever thing it is that you're concerned about. And if you're concerned about it really being, too in control, set up a human in the loop step, like in Slack, like I did. That's it. That's literally all you need to do. But it's better to be prepared for when it is you're able to like run with it than have this excuse based on this presupposition that isn't rooted in like reality, right? These things are going to get better, of course, right?
Yeah. I mean, we are going to accomplish much more thanks
Yeah.
to the AI and the AI agents. And so what you are doing here is like you're building your custom AI agents. And but we will also see a lot of products, AI agent products that they will come out and you will be able to use it without like kind of going technical this much. Many people may not be able to do this. It's actually very simple. There's no like you didn't write code, but
No,
you
not at
have to
all.
kind of figure out how to do this. Like just have to think about like all those things. And but people will actually prefer to use products to do these things. So I think that's going to be an opportunity for a lot of SaaS products to allow people to automate their workflows and just have these magic happens here moments like in that comic where like there's all these like calculations and then there's a solution and then there's this sign that says magic here happens. It's actually here. Like we now have this magic that can actually do pretty much everything, and it's called AI. And now we can actually put
Mm-hmm.
these like magic happens here arrows everywhere, and it's just going to get better and better with the help of tools. Yeah.
I agree. And I won't get too much more into the weeds on it. I was just I'll get off my soapbox, so to say. I just think this stuff is awesome and really cool. And if you ever are concerned about whatever use case and like, oh, is it not going to be good for, for AI? Is AI not going to be good for my company because XYZ reason we need a person? Okay, that's true. Just if any advice, learn if then conditional thinking, and most things will become possible because you'll be like, oh, well, really, the answer is always yes in this context or always no in this context. And then usually if you do that like 3 times over or 4 times over, like 90% of situations are figured out. And then you can leave the 10% to the human. Like don't limit yourself is what I'm getting at. Anyways, any other thoughts? Sales, AI. I think this was a great topic.
I think it was a great episode. I think it's just we are not there yet in terms of sales. The AI agents are getting there, and I can see us getting there in a few years, in a And it's going to be an amazing feature where, even as a customer, we will be able to like just make good decisions because we will be able to talk to these AI agents that can actually like tell us how to do things, like give us all these options, like just uh, it's just going to be, AI is less pushy, like just like it doesn't have to be trying to close in you. It can be providing you the information you need to make the right decisions. So I think it's gonna be great. And just we are also with Jotform AI agents. We are gonna be working hard to also like get there, like just provide those features so that if people who are like who need help with sales can actually use AI agents to be able to like provide a much better experience to their customers.
Yep, exactly. It's funny. I actually just got another notification for another agent, another human in the loop agent I have. It's really cool. We have that content idea list. Sometimes clients will submit intake forms, right? Where it's like they've essentially made the idea come to fruition in a submission. And I have an AI agent with a human in the loop that searches the recently submitted intake forms and checks the content ideas related to that same client. And we were just talking about before the episode, we're going to talk about in the next episode. So when I put that new episode on the calendar, it reminded me, hey, you might want to link the idea to the content real quick. And I was like, oh, yeah, I do. And then when I press yes, it syncs it in Notion. So I'm like, there's a lot of stuff, guys. You just need to do it yourself for a long time. And then I'm lucky enough to have someone that helps me with like building these now. But that's for the future. Anyways, with that being said, thank you so much for listening to what is episode 6. Wow, that came quick, of the AI Agents podcast.
Yeah, it was another great episode, and I'm really excited about the upcoming launch of Chatform AI agents and the podcast. We seem to be getting better at this.
I think so. Yeah, thank you again for listening to episode 6 of the AI Agents podcast. We're excited for the launch coming up soon, and we'll see you in the next one.